battery life. I feel like this is something that we're always trying to improve, right? So make sure you pick up your iPhone and start changing these settings because they are going to improve the battery life on your iPhone. But before we get started with the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this type of videos and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. This video is sponsored by Setup, an incredible cross-platform suite which gives you access to over 200 iOS and macOS applications without any additional cost. You only need to pay for your subscription and choose the apps that you would like to use. Now, a great benefit is that you can start a 7-day trial for free when you use the link listed down below in the description. So starting off, make sure to disable live text if you don't use it. I really love this feature, and if you don't know what live text is, you can pretty much copy and paste text from images. So this is very convenient, but if by any chance you don't use it, disable it because your camera will be constantly looking for text in images even if you don't need. So make sure to go to Settings, Camera, and disable Show Detected Text. Now, cellular data requires a lot more battery from your device than Wi-Fi, so there are a bunch of settings that you can disable to improve your battery life. The first one is related to the iCloud backup, so make sure you go back and go all the way up, and here you're going to press on your name, iCloud, iCloud backup, and you will disable backup over cellular because you don't need your phone to be constantly backing up when you're not on Wi-Fi. This will be using a lot more battery than usual. So disable this. Now we're going to go back and we're going to go to cellular. Here, make sure you go to cellular data options, voice and data, and if by any chance you don't have 5G coverage on your location, make sure to turn it off completely. So choose 4G or LTE, however it's showing on your device. But if you do have 5G on your location, but it's not the best, let's say, I believe that 5G is not the best at all in any locations at the moment. The coverage is not incredible yet. So make sure to press and choose 5G Auto. As it says right here, 5G Auto uses 5G only when it will not significantly reduce battery life. So I recommend you choose 5G Auto if you do have 5G on your location, or 4G if you don't. Now, the next setting related to cellular is iCloud Drive. So go back twice, go all the way down, and here make sure to disable iCloud Drive. If you leave this option enabled, your phone will be using cellular to transfer documents and data. So unless you need this, make sure to disable. As you can see, the iCloud backup is already disabled because we just did this. And now we're going to go back once more and go to App Store. Here, make sure you disable automatic downloads because you don't want your applications to be automatically downloading the updates when you're not over Wi-Fi. This will be using a lot more battery than Wi-Fi. Something else that I recommend you change is video autoplay. As you can see, there are 3 different options: on, Wi-Fi only, or off. And I prefer to leave this on Wi-Fi only. And once again, I already said that cellular data requires a lot more battery from your device, so you don't need the video autoplays when you're not on Wi-Fi. This will be using a lot more battery. So I recommend Wi-Fi only. Now let's go back twice and make sure you go to display and brightness. And there are 2 settings that I recommend you change. The first one is raise to wake. As you can see, mine is already disabled. If yours is enabled, make sure to change that unless you really love this feature. But if you have raise to wake enabled, what it does is that every time that you pick up your phone, the display will be turned on automatically. You won't have to think about it. But I had this enabled for quite some time in the past, and I noticed that sometimes I was just picking up my phone to bring with me somewhere, and my display was turning on. And as you can already imagine, it was draining my battery without any special reason. So that is why right now I leave this disabled, and every time that I need to check out something on my phone, I simply tap on the display, and that's it. Next, make sure you go to Auto Lock, and here I highly recommend you choose 2 or 3 minutes. The reason why I don't recommend 30 seconds is because you may be checking a photo or reading something on your phone, and your display will be automatically turning off even though you don't need it. So whenever this happens, I'm pretty sure you tap on your display so it turns back on again. But this will be using more battery than simply leaving it on. So that's why I don't really like 30 seconds or 1 minute. And I don't recommend you choose never, because you may be using your phone and you may go and do something else and forget to press the side button to turn off the display. Or you may be using it before you go to bed and you may fall asleep, so your phone will be the display will be on for quite some time before you realize. So I prefer to leave on 2 or 3 minutes, but of course, choose the amount that you prefer. Next, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but notifications are a big battery drainer. So make sure you go back to settings and press on notifications. And here I highly recommend you choose which apps you want to receive notifications from and which apps you do not want to receive notifications from. If by any chance you think this will take a lot of time, you can also create a focus mode. So swipe down, go to the control center, and right here, I am using the recording focus mode at the moment, but you can create a new focus. You can choose any of these or create a custom one. You can set a name for it. I'm gonna put test, press next. Here you can choose the people you want to receive notifications from. I'm gonna put allow none just to show you, but here you can choose which applications can notify you. So this may be easier for you than going to the notification settings and checking all of the apps. So I'm going to close this and I'm gonna go back to settings, and here let's go to privacy and location services. So here, I highly recommend you turn off location services for the apps that don't need your location. So make sure you check all of the settings. As you can see, mine are pretty much set to while using. I don't really like to leave these on always or anything like that. So make sure to check. The weather is one of the only ones that I like to leave on always because I like to use the widget and I like to be constantly checking the weather. But make sure you go through all of the apps and choose between never, ask next time, or when I share, while using the app, or always. I already have another video here on the channel where I talk a lot more about location services. I also talk about the system services and several settings that you can turn off to improve your privacy and battery life. So make sure to check out that video as well in case you haven't watched it yet. Next, if you currently own an iPhone with an OLED display, so the iPhone 10, 10s, 11 Pro, iPhones 12, 13, make sure to use dark mode because you can save battery that way. As you can see, I am currently using dark mode. If I change If I turn it off, this is how it looks. I even forget how it looks right now because I've been using dark mode for I don't even know how long. So I highly recommend you use dark mode if you have an iPhone with an OLED display. If by any chance you are not sure how this works and why it only works on OLED displays, is that the OLED technology allows pixels to turn off when you're showing dark images. So all of the dark areas on the display here on settings, or if you have a darker image, the darker sides right here, the pixels are off. So this is why you're not using that energy and you're not using more battery. On iPhones that don't have OLED displays, this doesn't happen. The pixels are not turned off individually. So that is why the battery is used the same way with dark mode on or off. And last but not least, I have a big tip for you, which is avoid extreme temperatures. Lithium batteries hate extreme temperatures, both too cold or too hot. So make sure you never leave your device out in the sun, for example, because this will be reducing your battery life drastically. And these are the settings that I highly recommend you change to improve battery life on your iPhone. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.